हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आज के क्विज में हमारे पास 25 क्वेश्चन है ऑन फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम। अगर आप 20 प्लस स्कोर कर पाते हैं तो वीडियो के एंड में आपको क्यूआर कोड मिलेगा जिसको स्कैन करके आप अपना सर्टिफिकेट डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं। चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं पहले क्वेश्चन से। विच मेम्ब्रेन फॉर्म्स अराउंड द सेकेंडरी oocyte इनसाइड द ग्राफिन फॉलिकल? द ऑप्शंस आर द करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन सी, zona pellucida. The zona pellucida is a non-cellular glycoprotein layer that surrounds the oocyte, providing protection and facilitating the sperm recognition. Question 2. Which structure connects the ovary to the pelvic wall and the uterus? The options are and the correct answer is option B, ligaments. The ovaries are secured in the pelvic cavity by ovarian and suspensory ligaments that anchor them to the uterus and pelvic wall respectively. Next question. Which layer of the uterine wall undergoes cyclic changes during the menstrual cycle? The options are the correct answer is option D, endometrium. It's the inner mucosal lining that undergoes significant structural and vascular changes to prepare for potential embryo implantation. The next question is, which part of the oviduct has a narrow lumen and connects directly to the uterus? The options are and the correct answer is option C, isthmus. It's a medial narrower segment of the fallopian tube that provides a junction point within the uterine cavity. The next question is, which hormone surge specifically induces the rupture of the graphene follicle? The options are and the correct answer is option D, LH. LH is the luteinizing hormone which is formed from the pituitary anterior pituitary mid-cycle. It's the primary trigger for the follicular rupture and subsequent ovulation. The next question is, which of the following is not a part of the female external genitalia? The options are the correct answer is option D, fallopian tube. It's the internal reproductive organ, whereas the vulva, it comprises of the external structures like mons pubis, clitoris, and labia. Next question. The process of releasing a mature ovum from the graphene follicle is formally known as. The options are the correct answer is option B, ovulation. It's a physiological release of the secondary oocyte from the dominant follicle. Usually it occurs around the 14th day of the standard cycle. The next question is, which specific part of the female reproductive system is commonly referred to as the womb? The options are and the correct answer is option A, uterus. It's a muscular hollow organ where the fertilized ovum implants itself and the fetus develops during the pregnancy. See, till now we have completed all the easy questions. From here on, the level of the question would rise. So let's come to the ninth question. The question is, what is the primary function of the clitoris in the female reproductive system? The options are and the correct answer is option C, sensory stimulation. The clitoris is an erectile organ rich in sensory nerve endings. It functions exclusively as the site for sexual stimulation. Next question is, the ovarian stroma is anatomically organized into which two distinct zones? The options are the correct answer is option C, cortex and medulla. The ovary is divided into an outer cortex which contains follicles and the internal medulla which contains blood vessels and nerves. The next question is, during oogenesis, the first meiotic division is completed at which specific stage of the follicle development? The options are the correct answer is option A, tertiary follicle. As the follicle matures into the tertiary stage, the primary oocyte within it completes meiosis 1 to become a secondary oocyte. Next question is, what is the significance of the corpus luteum during the luteal phase of menstrual cycle? The options are the correct answer is option A, it secretes progesterone. The corpus luteum acts as a temporary endocrine structure, secreting high levels of progesterone to maintain the uterine endometrium. The next question is, Why is the first meiotic division in oogenesis considered unequal? The options are: the correct answer is option D. It creates different cell sizes. The unequal division occurs to ensure that the secondary oocyte retains nearly all the cytoplasm, which is critical for supporting early embryonic development. The next question is: which of these factors is correctly identified as the physiological cause for the tearing of the hymen? The options are: the correct answer is option A, sudden fall or jolt. The hymen is a membrane that can be ruptured by physical activities like sports, riding, or using a tampon, not just sexual intercourse. The next question is: what is the fluid filled cavity in a tertiary follicle called? The options are: the correct answer is option A, antrum. The antrum is a characteristic fluid filled space that contains or that appears in the tertiary follicle. It marks a significant advancement in the follicular maturation. The next question is: what is the primary role of theca interna and externa layers in the tertiary follicles? The options are: and the correct answer is option A, they synthesize steroid hormones. The theca cell works in tandem with granulosa cells to convert cholesterol into androgens and eventually into the estrogen. The next question is: the birth canal in the human female is formed by the union of which two structures? The options are: and the correct answer is option B, cervical canal and vagina. The birth canal, which is vagina, along with the cervical canal, provides the exit part for the fetus during the process of childbirth. The next question is: the mammary glands are divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes, which contains clusters of cells called as. The options are: option B, alveoli is the correct answer. These are the functional milk secreting unit of the mammary glands, which are located within each of the mammary lobes. The next question is: which of the following describes the correct order of tissue in the uterine wall from outer to inner? The options are: the correct answer is option C, perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. Next question is: the finger-like projections at the edge of the infundibulum that collect the ovum after ovulation are called as. The options are: and the correct answer is option A, fimbriae. They beat towards the ovary during ovulation to sweep the released oocyte into the fallopian tube. The next question is: the secondary follicle is characterized by which of the following structural transformations compared to the primary follicle? The options are: the correct answer is option B, surrounded by more granulosa layer. A primary follicle develops into the secondary follicle primarily by increasing its layer of the follicular cells, which are also referred to as the granulosa cells. The next question is: what is the average length of each fallopian tube in the human female reproductive system? The options are: and the correct answer is option C, 10 to 12 centimeter. The next question is: what happens to the chromosomes in the primary oocyte during its arrest at prophase 1? The options are: the correct answer is option B, they are temporarily arrested. The primary oocytes are created before birth and enter a meiotic arrest at prophase 1, which remains dormant until the puberty. The next question is: why does the endometrium needs to be maintained after the luteal phase, and what happens if it is not? The options are: the correct answer is option D, for implantation, and it sheds. The last question for the day is: during the milk secretion, the flow follows which path through the breast structures? The options are: and the correct answer is option D, alveoli to tubules to duct to ampulla. So these were the 25 questions. Let's end this quiz. I would want you to take a screenshot of this thing आप यहाँ से आपके क्यूआर को स्कैन करके आपका जो भी स्कोर आया है, आप क्यूआर को स्कैन करें और अपना स्कोर ऐड करके अपना सर्टिफिकेट फ्री में डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं। मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में। हाँ, और कमेंट करके बताना जरूर कि आपको कौन से साइंटिस्ट की रैंक मिली है। ठीक है, मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए अपना बहुत बहुत ख्याल रखें।